Or wireless connection. Ah, there we go. Okay, this should be on now, and hopefully my wireless connection will behave. And I am here from downtown Denver, and actually have my business partner, Mark. Let's see, where are you, Mark? See if there you are.
Hi, everyone.
Hi to Mark. Hanging out here today, doing a bit of work. We have a call with one of our investors after this, so he's hanging out here. And of course, because I'm in Denver, I would ask everyone to excuse any weird noises. They're most likely coming from outside, possibly from Mark, but most likely they're from outside. And I really wanted to also thank everyone for viewing last week's. I was absolutely shocked. So that was my little experiment, trying it for the first time, and I thought I'd maybe get, I don't know, 20, 40, 50 viewers. I was going to be super happy if I hit maybe 70, 75. Well, as of today, it's up to 758 views of last week's video. So really, I am shocked and honored, and I'm so glad, and I've gotten some great feedback that some of you got some very valuable tips and tried some new things because of the content of last week's. For those of you who didn't watch it, it was all about learning ways and setting yourself up to take risks in a little bit more sophisticated, intentional manner. So it's still posted on Facebook. Check it out if you want to see that topic. And I'm so glad that that helped some of you. Thanks for the feedback. Please also feel free to share this video, share last week's video, share next week's video. And in addition to that, anyone who does share these videos, we're going to do a fun drawing. My company is called Insoma, and we do a monthly subscription box service that provides you with boxes with different content to help you improve areas of your life. And I'll leave it at that for now, but I'll include a link in the comments after I'm done filming where you can find out more about Insoma. So if you share either last week's, this week's, or next week's video, I will automatically enter you into a drawing for one of those boxes. And let's see, and I'm going to announce the winner on my Facebook live cast on September 14th. So you can either tune in, or all of these will be saved and you can see them in the future. If you win and you're not watching, I'll probably still reach out to you and let you know if I'm in a good mood. Anyways, thanks again for joining me. In the spirit of last week, as I mentioned, I was taking a risk. I had never done a Facebook live video before. Part of what I talked about was processing that risk afterwards and learning from it. So, what have I done this week? I am trying to say the word so a lot less. Guys, it's really hard. I do it in my regular speech as well, not just when I'm speaking on Facebook. I caught myself, I don't even know how many times throughout the week, in between last week and this week, going, so. I'm gonna try not to do that. And if somebody is feeling a little bit sadistic today and they want to be my so counter and post it in the comments, have at it. If you don't, that's okay too. The other thing I picked up on was this. Oh, I was having so much fun flipping my hair around. I'm going to try to chill out a little bit more on that this week. I had a little bit of a hair in my eye, and I will just address it if that happens. Aaron, thanks for that comment. So, yeah, we all have our quirks, whether it's or like. We get these funny little patterns, and boy, it's tough to break, tough to catch yourself. And it definitely helps to have others pointing it out to you. Thank you, Cecilia. The third thing was that I kept glancing over this way because I had my notes and my computer to my side. So today I've got it directly in front of me. I may glance down from time to time just to keep myself on task and on track. Those were my takeaways from last week, as well as just learning the equipment and trying to connect with everyone out there. Today I'm going to talk about two things that I love, and they work together. Micro steps and the idea of what is a 0 day and how to have no 0 days. A micro step is this idea of intentionally having a movement towards a goal, but trying to come up with the absolute smallest way to move yourself in that direction. Hello, John. Hey, you. Hi, Gina. Again, I like to do my magic mirror romper room thing. I see you and you and you. Micro steps. One example of them is keeping your house clean. If you know that you have a home for something, and I'm looking over because in my kitchen and living room there might be a few things that are out of place. Let's just say there's an object sitting on my coffee table that belongs in my office in the front room. If I just pick that up and even move it 3 feet closer to where it belongs as I'm heading into a different room, that's progress. The next time I walk through that area, I'm probably more likely to pick it up and get it a little closer to where it needs to be. Doing my dishes is not my favorite thing. I know you'll all be shocked to hear that. Doing my dishes in a sequin dress is my favorite thing. No, and I dressed up for all of you today. I hope you appreciate it. It has nothing to do with my friend Sarah's happy hour later this evening. It's all for you. So, back to my dishes. Doing my dishes, not my favorite thing. However, in the mornings, I have half an hour, 30 seconds when I'm heating up something in the microwave. During that first 30 seconds, I will try to put dishes in the dishwasher, even if it's 2 pieces of silverware, or take a plate from the counter and put it in the sink to soak a little bit. Even if it's just moving a plate from a table onto the counter, trying to find the smallest increment of progress I can make towards something, in this case keeping the dishes clean, is so important. Because if you ingrain this habit in yourself over time, you'll be shocked at the momentum that it can build. And I love, you'll be shocked. I sound like one of those clickbait sites. This is the one secret they don't want you to know. Oh, gosh. Over time, it will really create changes. Several years ago, I completed a Tough Mudder. That was something I didn't know if I could do or not. And it was well beyond my physical ability when I started training for it. And there were days where all I could do was make sure that my running shoes were by the bed so that when I woke up in the morning, I was more likely to put them on. So try to think about that type of thing. If you can't, don't commit necessarily to doing the bigger picture, but can you find, and maybe sit here right now for a moment and think about something you've been procrastinating or something you're just not looking forward to or you've been meaning to start, and try to identify the absolute smallest action you can take in that direction. And it might seem silly. Another one I've been working on is public speaking. I'm certainly not going to go out and give a speech every day. I would eventually very much like to give a TED Talk. At one point I had the idea, I'll just sign up for a TED Talk and force myself to do it. And that is one way, and I would probably get on stage and say something and kind of accomplish that goal. But when I took a step back and thought about how I wanted to feel in that moment and why I wanted to be a public speaker, it wasn't about just throwing myself out there and saying words. It was about getting on that stage and feeling confident and having something important to say and connecting with my audience. So I realized there were quite a few more steps in between getting on stage and speaking versus doing it well, feeling good about it. So I started to think about micro steps. I'm going to pause for a moment on the micro steps because you're all smart people out there. Well, most of you are. I'm not naming names. And I'm going to pause on the micro steps and talk about the no 0 days idea. This goes hand in hand because if you can come up with these small intentional steps, then you can commit to doing at least one every day. And if that sounds daunting, okay, fine. How about 5 days a week? So let's go with the everyday concept. I have this dream of doing a TED Talk. Well, every day I'm going to do something that, even in the smallest way, moves me towards that goal. Yesterday, I looked up local Toastmasters around Denver. That counted, that's enough. I found one that sounded appealing, but I didn't jump right in and sign up. Today, well, I'm doing the live cast. Okay, fine, this will be my credit for today. Tomorrow, I'm gonna sit down with my calendar and try to make room for that Toastmaster group. Just next week, not for the next year, just so I can go check it out next week or the following week. I'm starting to write a little outline of what I think some of the main points are and some of the main topics are that I would be interested in speaking on in the big picture. So every day I am just trying to do one small thing in that area of interest and give myself credit for it and be conscious about it. If I'm feeling good and I want to add to that and do 1 or 2 more steps or do a bigger step, do something a little more risky, I will give myself permission to do that, but I also don't want to overdo it. Those of you with kids or pets, anytime you're training a new habit or a new skill, the idea of leaving them wanting more is a very wise way to go about it, because then they look forward to the next session, the next experience, the next level. So I try to be careful with myself that I don't overdo it too, and I leave myself wanting more. I'm excited now that I found this Toastmaster group. I'm really excited to sit down and make plans to visit them. Today I walked by the building where I'll be going to go to that Toastmaster group, and even just walking by it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna check out the inside of that building next week and go to Toastmasters there. So having that sense of looking forward to the next step is so important. So try to catch yourself. We all like, it's great, you're in the zone, you're focused, we all like to feel accomplished, but there's also a value to keeping it at a smaller level and leaving things slightly unfinished. So that's the idea of not having 0 days, is combining that with micro steps, being creative and getting in the habit of looking at tasks from much smaller increments and giving yourself permission to do a small increment, feel good about it, leave it there, and come back to it. Sometimes it's a planned, I'll come back to it when I'm more focused, I'll come back to it when I'm not rushed. Sometimes it's just, hey, I know if I moved it to this point, I will eventually pick it up again. And that's fine. My last example of this is I've been trying to get in shape. I have been playing hockey, which I love, and so I want to get better. There's my carrot. I know my reason, and that's important too. I want to get better at playing hockey. I want to be a badass out there. I'm not going to beat anyone up on purpose, probably, but I want to be fast and agile and have the endurance. So I'm already doing the actual hockey playing, but I wanted to start creating a workout regimen for myself around that. I just know I'm not going to go to a gym. That's not who I am right now. I decided to set up a TRX system in my home along with a rowing machine. And for those of you who don't know, TRX is a kind of a hanging suspension set of straps where you can do push-ups, sit-ups, side bends, planks, all kinds of body weight activities. It's basically like a full body workout, just using your own body weight at different angles. So it hangs from the ceiling, so I wanted to set up a TRX system. I got the TRX straps and was, of course, all gung-ho, I'm gonna make this happen, I'm gonna start working out today, I'm gonna be super strong by tomorrow. Well, yeah, we all know how that goes. So then I decided, well, maybe I need to decide where this can fit in my house first. Maybe I don't want, and I live in a loft, so I don't have a lot of separate rooms, but maybe I don't want the middle of my dining room, living room area to be a gym full time. So each day I looked for ideas on Pinterest, I looked on the web, I looked at different ways that the TRX system could be mounted and hung, and it was an ongoing process, but I never lost sight that each day I spent a little time developing this idea. I decided to put in a pulley system. And gosh, maybe I should show you this. This is actually, I'm kind of proud of this. This is actually kind of cool. The TRX isn't hanging there right now, but so there's this let's see if I can do this here. There's this hanging plant. All right, this hanging plant here. Well, it doesn't look like much, and I think that or can we see the rest of the plant? Okay, you can see the plant is hanging from the ceiling, kind of. It's actually hanging from a wire, an aircraft carrier cable. And then over here on this pillar, the cable is secured at the top and the bottom with some cleats. Okay, so you get a little tour of my home, a little bonus adventure field trip there. So what I ended up doing, oh gosh, and there's that word again, so. What I ended up doing was each day planning this out, going to the hardware store one day, getting, of course, about 1/3 of the items that I need, knowing I'd have to go back there again. Eventually getting part of it up. One day it was just getting the ladder out, that's all I did. But the next day climbing up there, drilling a pilot hole. That didn't go so well. I didn't have the right drill bit. Going back to the hardware store. The idea is I expected these to be, to be part of the process. I expected there to be small steps, and I never lost sight each day of doing at least one little thing to get this set up. Now I love it, it's working great. I'm getting my workouts in, and hopefully, once hockey season starts again, I'll be able to report back that I am just kicking ass on the ice. So keep those ideas together. I think it can be fun to come up with these micro steps, and they can be silly. Sometimes I count moving a spoon a foot closer to the sink. Oh, that counts. That definitely counts. So have fun with it. Try to come up with the rationale in your mind. If it's a more intangible goal, like improving your public speaking, something around that would be meaningful to move in that direction. And really, I would love to hear your ideas. I'd love to hear what you're working on, what micro steps you came up with, how you might have used this, especially the sillier the better. That really, I think that those are some of the most fun ways to move towards your goal. Ultimately, all of those little steps for me did lead me to not only completing the Tough Mudder, but enjoying it. Hopefully, they've also led me to less hair flipping and less saying the word so, and less glancing over my shoulder, although I know you all love my profile, and some other improvements. These seem like small, silly things, but really, if you get this mindset and you get in this habit, and you can even teach it to others in your household, friends, getting into this idea of micro steps and consistently rewarding yourself, even if it's just mentally, each day for taking some step towards your goal. If you can do that consciously, your brain starts to recognize with a little release of dopamine, a little endorphin. You get these kind of behavioral rewards as you consciously implement this system, and it becomes easier and easier because then you kind of get this, ooh, I did a good thing. I'm pretty cool for that, without even needing to really create a tangible carrot. To create a long-term habit can take about 12 weeks. So cut yourself some slack, give yourself some room for failure in there, try to enjoy it. I would love to hear your stories. On that note, I'll tell you a little bit more about what my plans are for the future. I've got a great setup now so I can take some of these live videos out into the world. As Oktoberfest is approaching, maybe in the next couple weeks, I'm going to do a live video from some of Denver's Oktoberfest activities, as well as Erin Sell, who is our social media guru, is going to be going to Germany, and so she's going to also do her own version of a live video from Oktoberfest in Germany. How cool is that? So you can look for both of those coming up in the future. And if you're going somewhere and doing something for Oktoberfest, or you're just sitting at home drinking, I would love to see that too. So feel free to join our Oktoberfest live video project that we're planning on. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is, as I mentioned, and some of you joined late, if you share this video, if you share last week's, or if you share next week's, I am going to be giving away one of our Ensoma boxes, and I will announce the winner live on my Facebook Live video on September 14th. Please, please, please reach out to me. Thoughts, ideas, things you've tried. Not only do I enjoy hearing from you, but because I also do coaching, I do life coaching, I help people figure out their goals. I would be more than happy to do a one-on-one half-hour session with you, just to hear what you're up to and give you my insights and my I've had about 20 years of experience in the corporate behavior change world, so I would be more than happy to share that knowledge and that value with any of you. Reach out to me on Facebook if you want to set that up, and if you want to find out more about my company Ensoma, I will include a link to our site in the comments section as soon as I'm done filming. Thanks to everyone who joined today. I really enjoy seeing your names pop up at the bottom of my screen as I'm chatting with you all. I try not to get too distracted, but I do like to say hi, and hi to Debbie Kelly. It's always great to see you. And Erin, thanks for joining us, and thanks for being part of the Oktoberfest activities and festivities. And that's it for today, and I hope to see many of you back next week. Same time, same bat channel. Bye.